begin with this, new concerns that al-Qaeda is on the move. The Iraq al-Qaeda group has changed its name to the Islamic State of Iraq to show their growing ambition.
And there are growing fears Syria is set to become the new haven for extremists. U.S. officials warn that could create the world's greatest terror threat. Our chief foreign affairs correspondent, Lara Logan, is in Washington. Lara, good morning.
Good morning, Nora. Good morning, Charlie.
Hey, good morning.
How dangerous is al-Qaeda in Syria, and what are U.S. officials concerned about?
Well, dangerous enough for the deputy director of the CIA to say that there are more foreign fighters flooding into Syria to fight with al-Qaeda today than there ever were at the height of the war in Iraq, which kind of says it all. And why? The way to think of this, according to the al-Qaeda experts and academics that I speak to regularly, is that the army in Syria is really al-Qaeda's guerrilla army. They will move that army to whatever front there is next anywhere in the world. Many of those fighters probably came from Afghanistan or Iraq, where they learned to fight the U.S. They come from North Africa, they come from Yemen, they come from all over. And that organization particularly has very close contact with Ayman al-Zawahiri, who's over in the Pakistan-Afghanistan region. So it's very much a movement based on ideology that has very little to do with the kind of organization we're used to, and it's right there in the center of a country that has massive stockpiles
Lara, speak to
of
that
chemical
point.
weapons.
Speak to that point in terms of what is the threat if, in fact, al-Qaeda and al-Qaeda affiliates get control of a state.
Well, the people who know the most about chemical weapons in the United States, Charlie, say that what is scary about Syria is not just the presence of chemical stockpiles. It's the knowledge, the technical knowledge and training and know-how, and the delivery systems that are required to deliver those weapons. On its own, you know, a dirty bomb is terrifying as a concept, but it really is not even as effective as many conventional weapons. What they're afraid of in Syria is that the people who know how to use them and the delivery systems that are required to deliver chemical weapons to the most devastating effect, it's all sitting there, and nobody knows yet who's going to win the peace in Syria. It might very well be al-Qaeda.
But there's also this. These groups are al-Qaeda affiliates that are surging in there, and they're fighting somewhat with themselves.
You know, that's interesting, Charlie, because affiliates has become a word that sort of everybody loves to use to describe these organizations. But when you track what al-Qaeda says and the movement of their people, this is not an organization that's divided up into different regions and does their own thing. They are united by their ideology. They make that very plain. They have the same intent. Their intent today is exactly the same as it was pre-9/11. It's exactly what Osama bin Laden said it was, and it's never changed. If you read their magazine, if you listen to their videos and all their statements that they point out, they sent their best bomb maker in the world to run part of their organization in Algeria, because Algeria was the training ground from which they sent their fighters to the different fronts all over the world. So we have this sense that we want to divide everything up, and we want to say, you know, today Yemen is the most dangerous affiliate, tomorrow it's going to be Algeria, then it's North Africa, now it's, you know, in Syria. The fact is that al-Qaeda's ideology is what is at the core. That's why they're called the base. The base is the uniting factor, and that's really where the threat comes from. They're taking more territory and they're spreading their ideology, and that's what makes them dangerous.
All right, Lara Logan, good to see you. Thank you.